$150 on the left, $35 to $60 on the right. Both running flagship level sensors and wireless tech that didn't exist at this price 3 years ago. I've spent 1000 on mice, 8000 hours in tactical shooters, and what I found out isn't budget mice got better, is that premium brands have been charging you for engineering choices that actually make the mouse worse. Now this video breaks down exactly what's happening inside the mice, component by component, so you understand why the price gap no longer makes sense. 5 pieces, real engineering, by the end you'll know exactly what to look for and what's actually worth paying for. Starting with the biggest lie in gaming peripherals. Every gaming mouse ad shows you the sensor specs, 26,000 dpi, 30,000 dpi, 650 IPS and stuff like that. But here is what they don't tell you. Your hand can move that fast. The fastest flick a pro player makes in Valorant or CS2 maxes out around 200 to 400 inches per second. That's the physical limit of human movement. The BOT 3395, the sensor in most $40 Chinese mice, tracks at 650 IPS. Logitech's Hero 2 does similar. All of these sensors have double the headroom you'll ever use. You physically cannot move your hand fast enough to push any of them to their limit. The difference between 650 IPS and 750 IPS meaningless for actual gameplay. But here is where it gets interesting. The sensor chip is only about 20% of what determines mouse performance. Different sensor doesn't automatically means different feel. What actually matters is the MCU, the microcontroller. That's the brain that takes the sensor data and sends it to your PC. Premium Chinese mice use the Nordic NRF, same chip class that flagship brands use. This is what allows stable 4K and 8K polling rate without jitter. If a budget mouse has a Nordic inside, it performs at flagship level. Now, cheap Chinese mice use Comp X chips. These normally work fine at like 1000 Hz, but push them to 4K or even 8K and you get jitters, stutters and stuff like that. Unstable polling rate, micro stutters you can feel in the game. This is the actual difference between a good $45 clone and a trash $30 one. Not the sensor brand, the MCU. Now my MCHO's A7 II has a PO 3395 and a Nordic class MCU. Different sensor than Logitech's Hero, but the same performance tier. Now I played Valorant, CS2, Apex Legends with it for weeks. Flicks, tracking, micro adjustments, all of that stuff. Now I couldn't feel a difference from my G Pro Superlight because both sensors are way beyond human capability anyway. So when someone tells you premium sensors justify premium prices, the sensor war ended years ago. Everything above PO 3395 class is overkill for humans. But what about speed? The latency everyone talks about. So let's move to piece number 2, the latency reality. This is where the data gets interesting. Click latency measured in milliseconds. How fast your clicks registers after you press the button. Now here's what testing shows. Now the Vaxi R1 Pro, TechShark X3, MCHO's A7 II, all testing within the same window as Logitech and Razer flagship. Some budget mice with good firmware actually test faster than some premium mice with bloated software. Now the latency gap everyone talks about is mostly marketing now. Now let's talk about the polling rate. The big push right now is 8K Hz. 8000 updates per second. Sounds insane, must be better, right? Now here's the map nobody shows you. 8K polling rate means your mouse reports positions every 0.125 milliseconds. 1K polling rate reports every 1 millisecond. Your monitor at 140 Hz shows a new frame every 6.9 milliseconds. That millisecond advantage from 8K polling rate is just 1/8 of a single frame. You cannot perceive this, no human can. But you know what you can perceive? Your battery dying. Now 8K polling rate drains battery like 66% faster. A mouse that lasts 50 hours on 1K lasts like 70 hours on 8K. You're charging 3 times more often for a difference you cannot feel. So sensors are equivalent, latency is equivalent, polling rate is equivalent, or better on good clones. Now premium brands used to justify price with durability, it lasts longer. That argument also collapsed. So let's talk about piece number 3, the engineering failure. Now Logitech's double clicking problem, you've heard it about, forums full of complaints, class action lawsuits, mice failing in 12 to 24 months. So here is the engineering reason why. The Omron switches in premium mice are rated to operate at 5 volts and 10 milliamps. That's what they're designed for. But to save battery, manufacturers run them at 3.3 volts and around 1 milliamp. There's a concept called wetting current. It's the minimum electrical current needed to burn through the oxidation that builds up on the switch contacts. When you run switches below their rated voltage, the wetting current is too low. Oxidation accumulates, contact gets dirty, signal bounces. 1 click becomes 2. A bunch of fancy stuff that basically means just double clicking. Now myself, I own at this point around 8 to 10 budget mice. MCHO's Vaxi TechShark 80K non-developed double clicking. Now my Logitech G Pro Superlight side buttons went first, scroll wheel got weird, then the clicking started registering twice. The premium mouse failed, the budget ones didn't. But I'm not going to pretend budget mice are perfect, they have real weak points. Now here's what can actually go wrong with with a budget at mid-tier mice, not vague QC lottery specific failure points. So let's talk about scroll wheel encoders. Most budget mice use like a TTC Silver or TTC Gold encoders. They feel great, nice tactile steps, but they're sensitive to dust and wear. After like 3 to 6 months of heavy use, you start getting scroll jumps. You scroll down, it registers up, it's inconsistent and super annoying. Now the fix exists, just swap to like dust-proof encoders, but that requires soldering. Most people won't just do that. The next one is coating degradation. Budget mice coating wears faster. My ATK and Vexy mice got shiny patches after like a few months, where premium G Pro super light coating stayed consistent longer. And next we have something that is super rare but still documented, and I'm talking about battery swelling. A few reports of batteries expanding inside like some budget mice, isolated cases, but it happens. Now premium brands have this too, but their QC catches more of it before shipping. Now these are the actual trade-offs. Real engineering compromise is not marketing fear. Now let's move to piece number 5, the real math. Cost per month of use. Logitech G Pro Superlight $150, average documented lifespan with the double click issues, around 18 months for many users. Now if we divide $150 by 18 months, that's $8.33 per month. Now a budget mouse at $40, even if it lasts only 24 months, which is conservative based on what I've seen, that's like $1.67 per month. It's 5 times cheaper per month of actual use. And here is the replacement math. $40 times 4 replacements equals $160. Same as one flagship. If one develops scroll issues at month 8, you grab the next one. No returning emails, no video proof of defects, not waiting weeks for actual response from Logitech. Now, premium brands still have one advantage: local retail. If you buy from a store near you and something breaks, you can swap it in person. That convenience is kinda real, but you're paying $100 plus for that convenience. Not for better sensors, not for better latency, not for better durability. For poor performance, just get like an M-Choose A7, VGA Dragonfly, or even like super budget Vexy Air 1 Pro. The $150 gaming mouse isn't that because clones got good, it's that because premium brands got lazy and the engineering caught up to them. Now drop your mouse and what you paid in the comments, and I'll tell you if the components inside justify the price. And if you want to see my full tier list of the mice that I own, just check out this next video.